వినిపిస్తుందా? హలో,
హలో.
వినిపిస్తుందా?
వినిపిస్తుంది సార్.
Okay. So in previous class we had discussed about the basics of the cloud computing. Okay. In the previous class we had discussed about the basics of the cloud computing. Understand? So now in this class we will start the one by one services, learning one by one services. One by one ఏం చేద్దాం, we're going to learn. Okay. The first service we're going to learn in the AWS account create చేస్తున్నారా?
లేదు సార్, చేస్తాను.
హలో,
హలో.
AWS అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నారా?
లేదు సార్, చేస్తాను.
చేసుకోవాలండి, చేసుకోకుండా మీకే కష్టం అవుతుంది. ఓకే,
లేదు అయిపోతుంది సార్, వేసుకోండి.
చేసుకోవాలి, యాజ్ పాసిబుల్ అదన్నీ చేసుకోవాలి. హౌ మచ్ టైం టేక్? 5 minutes కంటే ఎక్కువ పట్టదు అది, నాట్ మోర్ దెన్ 5 minutes. ట్రై టు మేక్ AWS అకౌంట్. ఓకే,
షూర్ సార్.
because if you don't make AWS account you won't practice. Okay. So here the first service we're going to learn today is the EC2. ఏం చదువుకుంటున్నాం? EC2. AWS provides nearly 220 plus services. In that one, in our course we're going to learn about 30 to 35 services. Okay. How many services we're going to learn? 30 to 35 services. Okay, we're going to learn about 30 to 35 services. In that one, the first service we're going to learn is the EC2. That EC2. ఏముంటుందని? EC2. ఏ సర్వీస్ అది? EC2. So what is EC2? EC2 stand for Elastic Compute Cloud. Elastic Compute Cloud. It is also known as the virtual machine or virtual server or instance. ఏమనొచ్చు? వర్చువల్ సర్వర్ అంటారు. ఆల్రెడీ వర్చువలైజేషన్లో మనం ఏం చేసాము? వర్చువలైజేషన్ ఎనేబుల్స్ యూ టు సింగిల్ ఫిజికల్ హార్డ్వేర్ కెన్ మల్టిపుల్ వర్చువల్ మిషన్. ఇక్కడ ఏం చేస్తాం మనం? వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు క్రియేట్ EC2. అంటే ఏం చేస్తాం? EC2ని క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం. EC2 అనేది ఒక సర్వీస్ దేంట్లో? AWSలో. EC2 అంటే ఏంది? ఎలాస్టిక్ కంప్యూట్ క్లౌడ్. షేర్ అయిందా స్క్రీన్?
కనిపిస్తుంది సార్.
EC2 అంటే ఏంటంటే ఎలాస్టిక్ కంప్యూట్ క్లౌడ్. అంటే ఏంది? ఎలాస్టిక్ కంప్యూట్ క్లౌడ్ అనే సర్వీసు మీకు వర్చువల్ సర్వీస్ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది. వర్చువల్ సర్వర్ సర్వీస్ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది. విచ్ సర్వీస్ విల్ బి ప్రొవైడెడ్ బై ద AWS? EC2 ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఏ వర్చువల్ సర్వర్. ఓకే, వర్చువల్ సర్వర్, a virtual computer. Your computer is a physical computer, like that they will provide the virtual computer. దేని ద్వారా? EC2 ద్వారా. దేని ద్వారా? EC2 ద్వారా. EC2 అంటే ఏంది? ఎలాస్టిక్ కంప్యూట్ క్లౌడ్. సో కంప్యూట్ మీన్స్ కంప్యూటర్, క్లౌడ్ మీన్స్ ఈ కంప్యూటర్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది? క్లౌడ్లో ఉంటుంది. ఎలాస్టిక్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఆ కంప్యూటర్ని, క్లౌడ్లో ఉన్న కంప్యూటర్ మనం పెంచుకోవచ్చు, దాని రిసోర్సెస్ని పెంచుకోవచ్చు, తగ్గించుకోవచ్చు. కాబట్టి దీని ఏమంటారంటే ఎలాస్టిక్ కంప్యూట్ క్లౌడ్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, ఎలాస్టిక్ కంప్యూట్ క్లౌడ్. సో హియర్ వాట్ ఇస్ EC2? EC2 స్టాండ్ ఫర్ ఎలాస్టిక్ కంప్యూట్ క్లౌడ్. అమెజాన్ వెబ్ సర్వీసెస్ ఆఫర్స్ దిస్ సర్వీస్. విచ్ సర్వీస్? EC2 సర్వీస్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో నోన్ యాజ్ విచ్ నేమ్? వర్చువల్ సర్వర్. ఏం చెప్పారా? వర్చువల్ సర్వర్. EC2కి ఇంకో పేరు ఏం పేరు? వర్చువల్ సర్వర్ ఆర్ వర్చువల్ మిషన్. ఇంకో పేరు ఏం పేరు సార్ అంటే ఇన్స్టాన్సెస్. ఏం పేరు? ఇన్స్టాన్స్ అన్నా, వర్చువల్ సర్వర్ అన్నా, వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ అన్నా, EC2 అన్నా అంతా ఉంటాయి. ఆల్ ఆర్ సేమ్. ఓకే, ఎలాగైతే మీరు ఏదైనా కంప్యూటర్, ల్యాప్టాప్, మీరు రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్ తగ్గట్టు ల్యాప్టాప్ని కానీ డెస్క్టాప్ కంప్యూటర్ని కొనుక్కుంటారో అలాగే ఇక్కడ కూడా క్లౌడ్లో కూడా ఒక కంప్యూటర్ని మీరు కొనుక్కుంటారు, అదే హైర్ చేసుకుంటారు, అద్దెకి తీసుకుంటారు. దాన్ని ఏమంటారంటే EC2 అంటారు.
రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది సార్ అది?
చెప్పండి.
రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది కదా?
అవుతుంది. ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే. మీరు కంప్లీట్, ఎందుకంటే ఇంకా అంతా ప్రాక్టికల్గా ఉంటుంది, ఇంకేం ఉండదు మీకు. థియరీ చాలా తక్కువ ఉంటుంది, 5 minutes అలా ఉంటుంది అంతే. మొత్తం ప్రాక్టికల్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, వర్చువల్ సర్వర్ ఆర్ EC2 ఆర్ ఇన్స్టెన్సెస్. ఓకేనా? నువ్వు ఏ విధంగా అయితే ల్యాప్టాప్ కొనుక్కున్నప్పుడు ర్యామ్, ప్రాసెసర్, హార్డ్ డిస్క్ ఇవన్నీ చూసుకుని ల్యాప్టాప్ను కొనుక్కుంటావో ఇక్కడ కూడా క్లౌడ్ ఆ సర్వీస్ దేని ద్వారా ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది? EC2 ద్వారా.
ఓకే.
దేని ద్వారా ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది? EC2 ద్వారా. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే.
అంటే సపోజ్ ఐ నీడ్ 2 GB ర్యామ్, 500 GB హార్డ్ డిస్క్. అలాగే దాంట్లో కూడా 2 GB ర్యామ్ i3 ప్రాసెసర్ ఏ విధంగా అయితే సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటావో, క్లౌడ్లో కూడా మీ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ఉన్న EC2ని సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటాం. ల్యాప్టాప్ బదులు ఇక్కడ ఏంది? EC2 ఉంది. EC2. ఓకే. సో ల్యాప్టాప్ ఫిజికల్గా ఉంటుంది, EC2 వర్చువల్గా ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, రెండు కంప్యూటర్లే. మీ ల్యాప్టాప్లో అయితే ఏ పని చేస్తారో, మీ ఓన్ ల్యాప్టాప్లో మీరు ఏదైతే పని చేస్తారో, సపోజ్ మీరు ల్యాప్టాప్లో ఏం చేస్తారు, గేమింగ్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తారు, అప్లికేషన్స్ రన్ చేస్తారు, కోడింగ్ చేస్తారు, ఇలాంటి సర్వీసెస్ ఏ విధంగా అయితే యూజ్ చేస్తారో సేమ్ థింగ్ విల్ డూ ఇన్ ద యువర్ EC2 ఆల్సో. EC2 ఈజ్ ఏ వర్చువల్ సర్వర్. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే.
Just log into the console, then we're going to create a EC2. EC2. I am in which region? See, I had already told that there is a region in the right side.
Yes.
So when you log into the console, how many regions are there? I already explained you. 36 regions are there. 36 regions are there. So in this 36 region, we have 114 availability zones are there. Okay. So every region have at least 3 availability zones. You know that?
3 availability zones.
So here on the right side we click here, I am in the United States North Virginia region. United States North Virginia region. A region unna nenu United States North Virginia region. Suppose I want to move to the other data center, I just click here and move to the other data center also. Here also I can move to the other data center. I just move to the Hyderabad data center. Okay. Which region or which data center you want to deploy the virtual server? ఇట్ ఈస్ అప్ టు యూ. ఏ రీజియన్ అని తీసుకోవచ్చు. కానీ జనరల్గా రియల్ టైంలో ఏం చేస్తారంటే, ఎక్కడైతే అప్లికేషన్ ఏ కంట్రీలో ఏ రీజియన్లో అయితే మీరు డిప్లాయ్ చేస్తారో ఆ నియరెస్ట్ రీజియన్లో చేసుకోవాలి. సపోజ్ స్విగ్గీ ఈజ్ ఇండియన్ బేస్డ్ అప్లికేషన్, దెన్ వీ నీడ్ టు డిప్లాయ్ ఇన్ ద ముంబై రీజియన్ ఆర్ హైదరాబాద్ రీజియన్. డోంట్ గో ఫర్ అదర్ రీజియన్. If you deploy the application in other region, there will be considerable latency will be there. ఏముంటుంది? Considerable latency ఉంటుంది. You have a considerable latency ఉంటుంది. రెస్పాన్స్ టైం ఏమవుతుంది? పెరుగుతుంది. కాబట్టి ఆ లేటెన్సీని తగ్గించాలంటే ఎక్కడైతే అప్లికేషన్ ఉందో ఆ రీజియన్లోనే అప్లికేషన్ని కానీ వెబ్సైట్ని కానీ డెప్లాయ్ చేయాలి. ఓకే. సో యాజ్ ల్యాబ్ పర్పస్ యూ కెన్ యూజ్ ఎనీ రీజియన్, నో ఇష్యూ. జస్ట్ నా ఐ ఆమ్ ఇన్ ద విచ్ రీజియన్? Hyderabad region. So here I want to shift to the region, just click on this region. So again I am shifted to the North Virginia US data center. To create EC2, here to create EC2, click here this one left side, here under this one services, compute. So this is the one option is there called compute. Under the compute we need to select what? EC2. So here under the EC2 ikkada em rasaru?
Virtual server in cloud.
Virtual servers in the cloud. Okay na? So now the dashboard is open, the EC2. Here on the left side having options are there. So the EC2 global view, events, instance type, launch template, spot request, savings plan, images, elastic block store, network security, load balancing, auto scaling. All these options one by one we're going to learn. All these services we're going to learn one by one.
Okay.
Understood? The first service we're going to start today is the EC2.
EC2.
Okay, see here EC2. To create a launch instance, first we need to click on the launch instance. To create a launch instance, we need to click on the launch instance. I just click on the launch instance. Give any name. You can give any name. You can give any name. Here I just go to use. Just give use with Pro server. Give the Pro server. You could give any name. So as usual, when you purchasing the laptop, we need to choose the operating system and we need to choose the RAM, processor, graphic card, hard disk. Same thing here. When you want to configure the EC2, we need to select the operating system and the configuration of the computer. Here, which operating system you want to select? Here, multiple operating systems are there. Amazon Linux is there, Mac is there, Ubuntu is there, Windows, Red Hat, SUSE, Debian. Multiple options are there. Suppose you want to choose other one, you can choose more operating system by clicking here the AWS Marketplace. AWS Marketplace. Here in the AWS Marketplace, we have a multiple operating systems are there. You can choose any operating system according to your requirement. Suppose your requirement is the Red Hat Linux, you can choose the Red Hat Linux. Okay. Suppose if your requirement is SUSE Linux, you can choose the SUSE Linux. Understood? You can choose any operating system which is there in the AWS Marketplace. In the AWS Marketplace, it is around 6,536 AMS are there. From this one, you can choose any one. You can choose. Understand? So which operating system you want to select? You can choose according to your requirement. Suppose I want to create a Windows operating. I want to select a Windows operating system. I just select on the Windows. Okay? Just select on the Windows. I selected a Windows. Okay? Under the Windows, again have a Windows having a different versions. Different versions. Here, different versions are there. If you see this is the 2025 base, 2025 Windows Server 2025, 2022, 2019, 2016, like that. Multiple operating systems are there. And another thing is there. AWS will provide limited number of services for the free tier. It won't provide all services. It will provide limited number of services. Okay. We need to select which is having a free tier. If you select doesn't have an option of free tier, then you need to pay. So here these are the free tier eligible. Okay. And it will provide which operating system you want to select. Windows Server 2025, 22, 19, 16. You can select your operating system according to your requirement. You can select anything. I selected a Windows Server 2022. Okay. So Windows Server 2022. So in this one, having a free tier eligible. Okay. Another thing is there. The service which is learning today is the EC2. EC2. So if you go for what are the free tier limits that can apply for the EC2? Just type AWS free tier limits. When you click on the AWS free tier limits, here, okay, just click here. Just click here. There are three options are there. Some of the services having only free trials. Some of the services having 12 months free. Some of the services are always free. Understood? When I click on free trials, these are the services that AWS will provide for free trial. Will provide the free trial. Suppose this is Amazon SageMaker AI. This is the AI related tool, and it will provide for 2 months. It is for the machine learning. It will provide 250 hours you can use. Understand? And Amazon AppStream, Amazon Lightside, Lightside. So Amazon Component Medical, Amazon Inspector, Amazon, all these services are free trials that can be for the limited usage one, like it will provide for 1 month, 15 days, 2 months, like that. Okay. So and the second thing is the 12 months free. If you see this, These are the services that will provide for the 12 months free. We provide services for the 12 months free. Here we are the service, which service? Amazon EC2. It is how many months free? 12 months.
12 months, correct.
And this is the compute facility capacity in the cloud. It will provide 750 hours per month. Mean that how many hours I can use for this one? 750 hours. If you use more than 750 hours in a month, then we need to pay the money for the EC2 also. It is limited, not unlimited. It is only for 750 hours. It is only for the 750 hours. Another thing is that this 750 hours, if you see this, it is having a Windows T2, this T2 micro or T3 micro. It is meant by type of instance. Which type of instance can they'll provide? They will provide the T2 micro or T3 micro. T2 micro or T3 micro for free. So if you click on here, selected Windows, here instance type means that which type of configuration you need, which type of RAM, processor, which type of configuration you need. So this type of configuration is there in the instance type. It default AWS defaultly selected the T2 micro. Here also the free is T2 micro. See this T2 micro or T3 micro. This T2 micro having 1 GB RAM only. How much RAM is there?
1 GB RAM.
And 1 CPU. So mean that they will provide in the free service, they will free tier limits, they will provide only 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM only. So other than, suppose I need a 2 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM. 2 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM. Then we need to select other instances. See this is having a T2 small, which is having a RAM of 2 GB. Okay, 1 CPU is there. Another having a T2 medium, having a 4 GB RAM and 2 CPUs there. Another having T2 large like 8 GB RAM, like that, just scroll down. There are multiple specification and configuration is there. You having a 32 GB RAM is there. Even it is having a 1 TB RAM is also there. 1 TB RAM is there. So this type of instance is C5 large. See this. Huh? Understand?
Okay.
C5 9x large. It is having 72 GB RAM. C5 24x large, 192 GB RAM. Okay. So type of instance is what? Defaultly selected what? Which one? T2 micro only you can use. T2 micro or T3 micro only you can use. T2 micro for Windows, T3 micro for Linux. You can use only these instances only. So other than you can select other instances, you need to pay the money for the AWS. Understand?
Okay.
Only that one is only free. Remaining all are paid. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Here which instances, which type of instances selected? Default is selected T2 micro. Is that? T2 micro. So what is the T2 micro? Means how much RAM is there? 1 GB RAM. How much processor is there? 1 CPU.
1 CPU.
Okay. Here again, I just send you the free tier limits link to you. You can just check from the WhatsApp. Okay. And also I sent you a syllabus. You can just go and check the syllabus. Once check your WhatsApp.
Okay. Okay.
Here next thing is there. So what is the type of instance here? T2 micro, which was selected defaultly by the AWS. Other than I need another instance, you need to pay the amount. Pay the amount. Okay. In the free tier they will provide the T2 micro. Here just go to the Google. Type of instances. To the Google. Type of instances. Here Amazon provide multiple types of instances. Multiple types of instances. So what are the types of instances? General purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized, accelerated computing, storage computing, HPC optimized. These are the types of instances are there. Understood? Each type of instances has a specific usage. General purpose instance used for one purpose, whereas compute optimized used for other purpose. Whereas every type of instance having a specific usage. Suppose I want to I am a multimedia. I'm just want to make video editing. I am a YouTube blogger. Then I should go for the laptop which is having higher configuration. It should have 16 GB RAM and 32 GB RAM and also i7 processor, i9 processor. Only I can go for that one. Suppose I am practicing the video editing or I am doing the VFX. All this thing we need. Suppose I am practicing ethical hacking. This thing need high configuration laptop. Okay. Suppose I want to do some coding only. Suppose I don't have any I don't play any games. Then I just go for i3 processor or i5 processor, small processor. Suppose I am a student only, like I am studying only 5th class and 6th class. I can go for the low end configuration of the laptop. Same thing, according to your requirement, according to your budget, you could go for the, according to your requirement, according to budget, you can choose your laptop. Here also you can choose your instance. What are the types of instance here? General purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized, accelerator computing, storage optimized and HPC optimized. Understand? Here, what is my general purpose instances? General purpose instances provide the balance of the compute. Provide just the compute, memory and network services will give balance, like not moderate, not high configuration and low configuration. Okay. Generally used for this one, these instances are ideally used for the web servers and code repository. So these are used for the web servers and code repository. And another thing is there, the general purpose instances generally not used for the production. Understand? General purpose instances generally not used for the production. Understand or not? They are not used for the production. Which one? General purpose. They are not used for production. Generally they are used for the testing environment or for the small code repository and web servers. Which one? General purpose instance. Under the general purpose instances, again having a multiple types. You can choose here, you can see here the multiple types are there. M8C, M7G, M7I, M7 Flex, M7A, Mac, M6G, M6I, M6N, M6A, like multiple types are there under the general purpose instance. You see this instance is the T2 micro. The T2 micro is under the this one here. See this T2. Okay. So this T2. Okay. This T2 micro here, T2 micro basically having user for the, what are the configuration used in the T2 micro? Under the T2 micro, AWS used the 3.3 gigahertz Intel Xeon processor. Which processor they are using T2 micro?
3.3
gigahertz in Xeon processor. Here high frequency Intel Xeon processor they use. Here if you see this T2 having a multiple types are there. T2 nano, T2 micro, T2 small, T2 medium, T2 large, T2 X large, T2 2X large. In this one, T2 nano having a 0.5 GB, T2 macro having 1 GB, T2 small having 2 GB, T2 medium having a 4 GB, T2 large having 8 GB, T2 X large is 16 GB, T2 2X large is 32 GB. Under the T2 have a family. This one only free. Understood?
Okay.
So if you take another category under the general purpose, if you select M8G, this M8G, the M8G uses the AWS Graviton processor. Okay, AWS Graviton processor and the DDR5 RAM under the types of the. These are the types of what? These are types of the general purpose instances. If you see the general purpose instances, having a CPU is there and the RAM. See this RAM. It is up to 768 GB RAM.
Okay.
768 GB RAM. Understand? That is a general purpose. That is a
general purpose.
So under the compute optimized, we have a high-end processor will be there.
So general purpose is only testing purposes కు వాడతారు కదా?
Testing purpose కు యూజ్ చేస్తారు, కోడ్ రిపోజిటరీస్ కి, వర్క్ వెబ్ సర్వర్స్ కి యూజ్ చేస్తారు. లిమిటెడ్ యూజ్ ప్రొడక్షన్ సర్వర్స్ ఎక్కువ యూజ్ చేయరు. They don't use for the production, general purpose. Okay. So next thing is the what? Compute optimize. This compute optimize is nothing but having a high-end processor ఉంటుంది. Processing speed ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. Processor ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. అంటే ఏంది లైక్ సపోజ్ హ్యావింగ్ i3 i5 i7 i9 లాగే i1 అనేది హై ప్రాసెసర్ అండి, హై ఎండ్ ప్రాసెసర్ అది. i9 అనేది తెలుసు కదా, i3 i5 i7 i9 అన్నది Ryzen 3 Ryzen 5 Ryzen 7 Ryzen 9 లాగే. సో i9 అనేది హై ఎండ్ ప్రాసెసర్. ఈ కంప్యూట్ ఆప్టిమైజర్ కూడా ఏముంటుందంటే మీకు హై ఎండ్ ప్రాసెసర్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఏముంటాయి?
హై ఎండ్ ప్రాసెసర్స్.
అంటే ప్రాసెసింగ్ స్పీడ్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. కంప్యూట్ ఆప్టిమైజ్ ఇన్స్టాన్స్ ఐడియల్ ఫర్ ద కంప్యూట్ బౌండ్ అప్లికేషన్స్. హై పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ప్రాసెసర్స్ ఉంటాయి. దే ఆర్ జనరల్లీ యూజ్డ్ ఫర్ ద బ్యాచ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్, మీడియా ట్రాన్స్కోడింగ్, హై పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ వెబ్ సర్వర్స్ అండ్ హై పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ కంప్యూటింగ్, scientific modeling, dedicating gaming servers and server engine and machine learning inferences కు యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఎవరు? కంప్యూట్ ఆప్టిమైజ్. అర్థమైందా? సో అండర్ ద కంప్యూట్ ఆప్టిమైజ్ దేర్ ఆర్ మల్టిపుల్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ దేర్. C8G, C7G, C7GN, C7i, C7 Flex, C7a, ఇలా మల్టిపుల్ టైప్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే.
ఇక్కడ చూసుకుంటే మల్టిపుల్ టైప్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, టు సీ హియర్ Swiggy. See this? Swiggy uses which instances? Yeah? 400 plus EC2 instance which is having a what?
C5 X16X
large, C5a
24X large,
R5a 16X
large.
ఎవరు just
Swiggy.
Swiggy is deployed on top of the AWS. Yeah. See this? C5a. ఇదిగో ఆ C5a లో ఏమి చేస్తున్నాడు? 16X large, ఇది
24X large.
ర్యామ్ ఎంత ఉంది దీనికి?
192,
120 GB.
152.
ఓకేనా? ఎవరు? స్విగ్గీ. So here, according to your requirement, you can choose the type of the instance. So suppose your company is deploying this type of application, whether it is e-commerce application, whether it is online gaming application, and which type of application are you using, according to that requirement and load, according to type of load and application, you can choose your instance. Same thing like you can choose according to your requirement anything. ఇప్పుడు ఏదైనా ఉంటే సో కంప్యూటర్ని ల్యాప్టాప్ని కూడా మీ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ తగ్గట్టుగానే మీరు చూసుకుంటారు. సపోజ్ ఐ ప్లే వెరీ హై, ఐఎమ్ ఏ గేమింగ్ ఫ్రీక్, means that I am very much passionate about the game, and what I can do, I go for the high-end laptop, means that having a graphic card and having a high-end processor and SSD, all these things. I don't play games, I just use my laptop for the watching YouTube and just check for Gmail. Then I didn't go for the high-end processor and high-end laptop. Okay, according to your requirement you can choose your machine. Here also in AWS also, according to your requirement you can choose your type of instances. So that is a compute optimize. So next thing is the memory optimize. Memory optimized instances are designed to deliver faster performance and workload that process large data sets of the memory. Means that in the name itself it contains the memory optimize. Memory optimize, it contains memory optimize, RAM is high. ఏముంటుంది? ర్యామ్ ఉంటుంది దేంట్లో, మెమరీ ఆప్టిమైజ్లో. ఓకే, సో లార్జ్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ డేటాని ప్రాసెస్ చేయాలంటే ఏం చేస్తారు? మెమరీ ఆప్టిమైజ్ యూజ్ చేస్తారు. See this one having a R5a. Okay? Here this is R5a. Memory optimize lo R5a.
16.
R5A. How much RAM they are using?
512.
They are using 400 plus EC2. Which one? Swiggy. It is having a 64 CPU and a 512 GB RAM. These are the processors they use, Swiggy use. Under the which one? Memory optimized. Understand now? So these AWS having a multiple types of instances. First one is general purpose, second one is the compute optimized, and third one is the memory optimized. In generally, you don't have a choice to select all these instances when you are using the free time. You don't have a choice to choose all instances, because if you choose these instances, then you need to pay a huge amount of money. Generally, free tier, you don't have any choice. You can use only T2 micro only. Understand? But when you are using in the production, even free tier also you can choose, no problem. But thing is there, you need to pay. Understand?
Got it.
Here, use cases of the memory optimized. Application built on the open service software like application servers, microservices, gaming services, mid-side data stores and caching feed కోసం చేస్తారు. Which one? Memory optimized. Which one? Memory optimized. So దీంట్లో ఏ ప్రాసెసర్ యూజ్ చేశాడు? ఎపిక్ 7000 ప్రాసెసర్ యూజ్ చేశాడు. యాక్సలరేటెడ్ కంప్యూటింగ్ అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ యాక్సలరేటెడ్ కంప్యూటింగ్? యాక్సలరేటెడ్ మీన్స్ గ్రాఫిక్ కార్డ్ ఏమంటారంటే యాక్సలరేటర్ అంటారు. AGP అంటే యాక్సలరేటెడ్ గ్రాఫిక్స్ పోతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ యాక్సలరేటెడ్ కంప్యూటింగ్ మీన్స్ దిస్ ప్రొసెసర్ ఆర్ దిస్ ఇన్స్టాన్సెస్ హ్యావింగ్ ఏ గ్రాఫిక్ కార్డ్. రైట్? హ్యావింగ్ ఏ high-end graphics card ఉంటుంది, GPU ఉంటుంది. It is having a high-end GPU will be there. Understand? Which one? Generally, why use graphic card? Laptops to play games, to watch high-definition videos, to edit videos. Isn't it? Why use high-end laptop which having graphic card? Why use graphic card laptop?
For high performances, when gamings or high definition videos.
So here also same thing. The accelerating computing instance, hardware accelerator, having a graphic card, high-end graphic card. So they use for the high-end graphic card. Which one? They can use for the floating point calculations, graphic processing, data pattern matching, and is all this thing for the accelerated computing. Understood? This accelerated computing having a multiple types, P5, P4. If you click on the P5, if you see here, what is the graphic card here? Graphic card, if you see the graphic card memory, it is having a 100 and 125 GB RAM graphic card. Can you imagine this? Only 4 GB graphic card laptop cost 1 lakh rupees. If you purchase a 6 GB laptop, it will cost 2 lakhs to 2.5 lakh rupees. That much cost. Only 6 GB laptop, 6 GB graphic card. It is having 6 GB graphic card. It costs around 1.5 lakhs to 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs rupees. See this, what is the graphic card memory here? Here, it is having a 1128 GB RAM. That much of instance they will provide. Whom? AWS. Understood? This is having a multiple types also here. See this graphic card. Multiple types also there. Okay. It is this having a 1.5 GB, 1.5 TB graphic card. Can you imagine this? 1.5 TB graphic card. How much big it is? 1.5 TB graphic card. Okay. See this? There are multiple options are there in the which one? Accelerated computing. Okay. Accelerated computing generally use it for the floating point number calculations, graphic processing, data pattern matching, and more efficiently in the software running in the CPU. Second, fifth thing is the storage optimization. In general, what are the storage options are like? Suppose if you take a storage is nothing but a disk. It may be hard disk, it may be SSD, or it may be SSD M2. So disk having a multiple types are there. Hard disk, SSD and SSD M2 is there. Here also storage optimization, you can choose your storage, which type of storage, whether it is hard disk, whether it is SSD or whether it is SSD M2. Okay. Storage optimized instances are designed for workloads Suppose I want to data read very high speedly. I want to write the data or I want to read the data very high speed. Then I go for which one? Storage
Storage
optimized.
optimized.
The storage optimized workloads require high sequential read and write access, very local data storage. They are optimized to 10,000s of latency, very low latency. We can, with the low latency, we can use for random IO operation to application, which is known as the storage optimized. Storage
Optimized.
so means with the high speed you can use the data, okay? You can access the data. Here this IO means input output intensive workloads. They can use for the MySQL, PostgreSQL, real-time databases, NoSQL database like Aerospike, Apache Druid, ClickHouse, MongoDB they can use. Or also you can use for the real-time analytics like by using the Apache Spark. Which one?
Storage.
Basically they are used for the data warehousing like data analytics. Which one? Storage. Suppose huge set of data is there. I want to analyze that data. Suppose having 1 crore people are there. I want to check their analytics. I want to check their analytics. So with the help of storage optimize, you can use. Okay, by using the storage optimized instances, we can analyze. Understood? That is the storage. Next is the HPC optimization. HPC means high performance computing. Okay, high performance computing. High performance computing instances are purposed to build offer the best performance workloads. So high performance work for the high performance workload, like I want to use the scientific application, like I want to launch in a rocket. I want to use for weather bound application, whether I want to analyze weather and missile, these missile launching, all these are used what? HPC optimized. HPC optimized means high performance computing. High performance computing. Understood? This high performance computing generally used for this one. Which type of instances is there? High performance computing. Okay. High performance computing is purpose to build the best price performance for the running HPC workload. They are ideal for applications that benefit from the high performance processor, such as large complex simulations and deep learning workloads. Which one?
HPC optimized.
Okay, but we had learned that these are the type of instances. In generally, you don't have an option to choose all this type of instance. Okay, so default it will be selected which one? T2 only.
T2.
Okay. Next thing is the key pair. Next thing is
ఇవన్నీ మనం సార్ ఇప్పుడు ఈ టైప్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా సార్, ఇవన్నీ ఒకేసారి డిప్లాయ్ చేయడానికి అవ్వదు కదా?
ఇదండి
ఇప్పుడు ఒక ఇన్స్టాన్స్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటాం కదా మనం.
ఒక ఇన్స్టాన్స్ వచ్చేసి ఒకటే సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటారు, మల్టిపుల్ ఎలా సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటాను? ఒక ఇన్స్టాన్స్ ఇప్పుడు నీ ల్యాప్టాప్ ఉంది, వాళ్ళు i3 అంటే i3 సెలెక్ట్ చేస్తావు, కానీ i5 ఎలా సెలెక్ట్ చేస్తావు? 2 ప్రాసెసర్లు వేసుకుంటావు ఏంది?
ఓకే,
ల్యాప్టాప్లో i3 ఉంటుంది, i3 చూస్ చేసుకున్నాం, మళ్ళీ 2 ప్రాసెసర్లు ఒక దాంట్లో ఎలా చేస్తావు? మరి లైజర్ కదా, ఏది ఉంటే సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటావు. మల్టిపుల్ ఎలా సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటావు? కంప్యూటర్ అంటే ఒకేటే సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటావు, వేరే ఎలా సెలెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను? Here next thing is the key pair. Bracket as login. So this you can use key pair to connect your instance, to connect your virtual computer or virtual instance or EC2. You need a key pair. Key pair. What is the key pair? Pair means what? Pair means that you have a one key is there and you have a lock is there. The lock and key are both are pair. They are pair. Understood? They are pair. So you can use the keys for specific lock for specific key only. You can't go for the same key for the all locks.
Yes.
Understood? This key and lock are pair. Means that with the key that is attached to the particular lock only, you can unlock that lock. Okay, you can't unlock the key with the other key. Antena?
Ante.
Same thing here. This is the key pair. To connect your instance, we need a password, or we need with the help of the key pair, we're going to connect to the instance. Here having one option is there, what? Create a new key pair. Create a new key pair. I'll just give the name as a key pair. Username is Durga. Okay. There is the key pair uses the encryption algorithm, two types of algorithm, RSA and ED 25513. This algorithm to connect to the instance. There are two types of key formats are there. One is the PEM key and a PPK. .pem key and a PPK. Defaultly AWS select the PEM. Okay. So when you are learning the Linux instance, we are going to learn PEM PPK. At present, I don't select anything. I just leave the PEM. Okay. No need to select anything. Just select give the name only. Give the name only. Just create a key. So why use key pair? To log in into your instance. To log in into your instance. To enter into your room, you have a lock is there. How will you open that lock? With the help of your key only. You can't open your lock with your friend's key.
Yes.
You can open your lock with the help of your key only. You can't open your lock with the friend's key. Or else, understood? Here also the key pair I created, which is downloaded in my local computer. See this. It is downloaded in the what? Local computer. See this. In the downloads folder, this is the local computer. This is the key. Understood? With the help of the key, I am going to log in into my computer. Understand?
Okay.
Next thing, this.
So అందులో PEM PPK అన్నాను సార్, అవేంటి సార్ అవి?
PEM ఫార్మాట్ అండి అంతే, ఏం లేదు. ఫార్మాట్ అండి. PEM అయినా తీసుకోవచ్చు, PPK అయినా తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఫార్మాట్ అండి అంతే. ఫార్మాట్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు నోట్ ప్యాడ్ ఉంటే వర్డ్ ఉంటే .dox ఉంటుంది, నోట్ ప్యాడ్ ఉంటే ఏమంటే .tx ఉంటుంది. ఫార్మాట్ అంతే. దాంట్లో మీకు ఏం ఒరిగేది ఏం లేదు. PPK అయినా తీసుకోవచ్చు, PEM అయినా తీసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే.
ఓకే.
PPK అంటే ప్రైవేట్ కీ అండి. PPK ఫార్మాట్లో ఉంటుంది, ప్రైవేట్ కీ PEM ఫార్మాట్లో ఉంటుంది. ఏ ఫార్మాట్లో తీసుకోవచ్చు. Here next thing is there, under the network setting have a what? Security group. That?
Security group.
This security group also known as what?
Firewall.
So what is a security group or firewall? The set of rules that control your traffic, your instance. The set of rules that control traffic to instance, and also add rules which type of traffic can reach your instance. Add rules to allow which type of traffic instance. Understood? It is like a security guard. It is like a what? Security guard. అంటే ఎవరు లోపలికి వెళ్తారో, ఎవరు వెళ్ళాలి, ఎవరికి వెళ్ళాలి డిసైడ్ చేస్తుంది ఎవరు? సెక్యూరిటీ గ్రూప్. ఓకే.
ఓకే.
So what is the security group? This is the EC2 instance which is created in the AWS data center. And this is your laptop. This is your laptop. So this is the EC2 instance which is there in the AWS data center. Okay. So then from the laptop I need to connect to the
EC2.
Okay. So when you make a communication to this EC2 instance or EC2 virtual machine, you should have a permission. Should have a
permission.
Which type of service you are using, you should have a permission. If you don't have any permission, you can't go into the server. You can't access the server. Okay? From the laptop toward the server, toward the EC2, it is known as the inbound. It is known as the inbound. Mean that from my laptop going toward the EC2, that is not the inbound. From this side, mean that I want to connect from this here. I want to make a connection between from here to this one. This is known as the outbound. This is known as the what? Outbound. Understand? Understand or not?
Yes,
if you provide inbound service only, you can connect to the instance. If you don't have inbound services not enabled, you can't connect to this instance. You can't connect.
Okay.
Suppose your both instances, my laptop is Windows system, my laptop is Windows operating system. The instance which is operating system also uses what? Windows.
Windows.
Then I'll use RDP. What is that?
RTP.
RDP stands for Remote Desktop Protocol. Remote Desktop Protocol. So Remote Desktop Protocol enables to connect the Windows computer. Understand? Suppose if it is a Linux, if it is I configure the Linux, then I go for the SSH. Understand? If you enable RDP in the virtual machine, then you will connect. If you don't enable, you won't be able to connect. Understand?
Okay.
See here, allow RDP connects to an instance, default enabled. Okay na? Understand? Suppose you had installed the web application. ఒకవేళ దీంట్లో ఒక వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ ఉంది,
Web application.
లేదంటే వెబ్సైట్ ఉంది. దెన్ వెబ్సైట్ని యాక్సెస్ చేయాలంటే ఎలా యాక్సెస్ చేస్తారో? HTTP ద్వారా. దీని ద్వారా HTTP కానీ HTTP ఇస్తారు. దీని ద్వారా యాక్సెస్ చేస్తారు.
HTTPS.
This thing, Flipkart, I use this one
HTTPS.
to connect, to access web application. This is a web application. To connect or to access the web application which is deployed on top of the EC2, then we need to enable which services? HTTP and HTTPS. See. Okay? At present I am not deploying any web application.
Web application.
I just keep same. Here on the right side having 3 options are there. One is the anywhere, second is the custom, third one is the my AP. Okay? Anywhere, custom and
my AP.
Anywhere means you can access the instance from anywhere. Like this is my laptop. There is instance from your laptop. It is from your laptop. You can access the instance. Again, I moved to the office, my office laptop. From the my office also I can connect. I can connect anywhere. I can connect the instance from anywhere. If you select option anywhere. Okay? Understood?
Okay.
Suppose if you select a custom, I have some group of IP address which I purchased from the ISP, then I will give the IP address. I want to connect this machine from specific IP address. Like this. I have an IP address. I want to connect a specific IP address. Okay, I just give the specific IP address. Okay, then I can connect from this specific IP address. The custom.
Okay.
Suppose I want to connect here. I select another option is my IP. Mean that I have an IP address which is given by the ISP provider. I can connect this server or instance from this IP address only. You can't connect the IP. You can't connect from any other IP addresses. I can connect only from this IP address only. Suppose you go home, I can't connect this one.
Okay.
I just selected this one
Anywhere.
So then click on here. I keep all this as key. I just given the name. I selected Windows. I selected Windows Server 2022. That is which operating system? That is known as the Amazon Machine Image. Amazon
Machine image.
Amazon Machine Image is the operating system. Okay? Image is an operating system. Selected which one? Windows. And default, I don't select anything. It was default selected by T2 Micro. I just created a key pair. And selected a. I don't select anything. This one also I keep default. In future I select all this.
Okay.
Click on the launch system. Now instance is launched. Generally, if you create an instance, it takes 4 minutes to connect to the Windows instance. Suppose if you connect a Linux instance, it not takes 4 minutes, takes only 30 seconds to connect to the Linux instance. Linux is fast.
Okay.
Within the 30 seconds, I can connect to the Linux instance. Okay. Wait. So now creating instance. Just click on the instance. Click on the instance. So now I created an instance here. Here, instance. So now I will come to connect the instance. To connect, I created an instance. I need a Windows instance. I create an instance. To connect an instance here, you click on the instance. Having option is there, connect. Click on the option is there, connect. Click on the connect. Click on the
Connect.
Click on the RDP client. Click on the RDP client. Here option is there, what?
Get password.
Get password. Where I can get the password? From the key pair which I created. From the key pair which I created. Previously I created a key pair that is the name of the Durga. This key pair contains the password. If you don't have a key pair, you can't make login to the instance. If you deleted the key pair, then you can't able to log into the instance. You should keep secure. The key pair should be secured. If you delete or if you lost the key pair, you can't able to connect to the computer. Understood?
Okay.
So with the key pair only you can connect. Suppose you lost, పోయింది లేదా delete చేసావు, నువ్వు కనెక్ట్ చేయలేవు, ఇంకా అయిపోయినట్టు అది. Okay? Okay, here. Clear? To key pair, to decrypt the password, get password. Get that password. Here, click on the upload private key. Where is the key is there? What is the key name here? Hello. What is the key name I have given? Durga key. Which key I select created name?
Durga.
Just select this one from the here and click on here decrypt password. This is the password to log in into your computer, to virtual computer. Okay? Just copy this password. To connect this instance, just click on the download remote
Desktop.
and just click on the Windows server and click on the connect. Click on the connect. Then paste the password which you copied. Paste. Now it is, then click on the S. Now I successfully connected to the instance. Successfully connected to the Windows instance. Understand?
Okay.
Okay, na?
Okay.
This is the instance. నార్మల్ కంప్యూటర్ ఏ విధంగా యూజ్ చేసుకుంటారో అలా మీరు యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఏ పని చేసుకోవచ్చు. వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ డెప్లాయ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, వెబ్సైట్ డెప్లాయ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, పర్సనల్ యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, ఎలా కావాలంటే యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. బట్ థింగ్ ఈజ్ దేర్, హార్డ్వేర్ నాట్ యువర్ సైడ్, హార్డ్వేర్ డేటా సెంటర్ AWS సైడ్.
Okay.
So now in generally here this having a limited like 750 hours of EC2 instance only. In general, what I suggest you that whenever you create a lab, try to terminate the lab or delete the lab, because to reduce the cost, or judiciously we can use the AWS services. You run then continuously, then you maybe generate a bill. Okay. So then I suggest you that whenever you do the lab, try to remove the lab or terminate the lab. Understand? Okay. Here what I do here, to terminate this instance, click on the instance. Click on the instance. Why we need to terminate delete instance? Judiciously use this. Okay. Here right click here. What is the option here?
Permanent delete instance.
Permanently deleted. In general, real time they don't delete. Okay.
Okay.
So now it takes 2 to 3 minutes. Then what happens? It will be deleted. It will be deleted. So this is to create EC2 instance. Windows EC2 instance. Understand?
Okay.
Then tomorrow we're going to create a Linux instance. Windows instance creation is very easy, very easy. But compared to the Linux instance, to connect to the Linux instance, it may be little tricky. You need more expertise. Not like that. Easily we can connect to the Linux instance. Okay. Tomorrow I will tell you that how to connect the Linux instance in multiple ways. How to create a Linux instance and how to create a connect to the Linux instance in multiple ways. Understand? So try to make a AWS account as possible as early and try to do the practice. Okay. So I'll just make every day I will cover at least 2 to 3 labs. Okay. If you won't practice whatever the thing I had explained that day, it will be very difficult to you. Okay. It will be like around 120 to 150 labs will be there. 120 to 150 labs are there. How will you practice this 120 to 150 labs every day if you don't practice? It's a big burden to you and it is very difficult to understand. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Tomorrow we'll see you. Okay.
Okay, sir.